Hello everyone. Today I'm drawing sunflowers all around the page. I'm trying this new art technique which I just found using ink and watercolor. So first I'm gonna sketch out all the sunflowers. So right now, as you can see, I've drawn a small circle in the center, which is where the center of the sunflower will be, and now I'm drawing petals all around it. I've drawn little lines around the smaller circle to help me make the petals straight so they all look even. And you can see, as I'm doing right now, I'm overlapping some of the petals over the other, and I'm trying not to make them like exactly the same, because most sunflowers are not exactly perfect, and it has to be a little uneven. So as you can see, I'm just doing a small sketch, and I'm doing it really slowly so that you can see what's happening. Now I'm doing another one. Every time I do another sunflower, I'll probably increase the speed so it goes by faster. You could always increase the speed yourself from the playback speed. You can increase it by 2 so that it goes faster. So see, as you can see right now, I've increased the speed a bunch, so you're just seeing like me drawing the flower. So I was inspired by this artwork that I saw on Instagram of this artist, Art by the Beats, I think was her Instagram handle. I'll tag it down below in the description. So right now I'm mixing a shade of yellow, and I'm just going to draw a stripe all the way down diagonally against the page. You'll see me use different shades of yellow and brown, because those are all the shades sunflowers can be in. And I think this gives it a really good touch, because it's like you have color in the painting, but you're not exactly painting the sunflowers, and it looks really beautiful at the end. As if you saw the thumbnail, then you would have seen it, as well as if you checked out my Instagram, I would have posted it right when I posted this video. So I'm using watercolor with these stripes. So I've used ochre yellow, lemon yellow, and burnt sienna so every shade is different, so they cover all the different shades that sunflowers can be. So now you can see that I'm making thin and thick lines, so it isn't very even, and it brings about different colors. As you can see, I'm making really thin lines right now, just overlapping all the others. It just brings a little bit of contrast to the others. So I've just started drawing with a pen. So I'm starting right at the center, which I'm doing a little pointillism using a regular gel pen, and around that I'm making little circles with dots in the middle of them to show the seeds of the sunflower. So as you can see, I'm just making different sized circles, like smaller ones, bigger ones, and I'm putting little dots in the middle so it doesn't seem too empty. And I'm going to fill the rest of the circle with this. As you can see, the inner circle is in the shape of a round, but it is a little messy round, so it doesn't seem too even. So I'm going to continue doing this before I'm going to move on to the petals, in which I'm just gonna make streaks to show like turns and little crinkles in the sunflower petal itself. You'll see right now, as I'm starting, I'm just drawing over the pencil marks. I have dulled down the pencil a bit, so I erased the circle that was around it, and I moved the eraser around the flower a little bit so that it could reduce the pencil mark, so that it's not too much, since you can't exactly erase over paint. It's not very easy. So right now I'm just making a few really thin lines with a 0.2 fine liner. This is a Stadler fine liner. As you can see, I'm moving a little fast, but you can see the company names on the pen. So I'm just making really fine strokes all over so that it gives it a little more detail and shows shadowing. And as I do this, the part of the petal which is closer to the center the ink will collect there, so it looks really beautiful, because it looks a little like the shading. You'll see when I'm done. So I'm just moving around trying to add the streaks everywhere so that it completes the flower. I think there's about 7 or 8 flowers, as well as some of them are half or quarter. You'll see that as I go. I'll increase the speed while I'm doing it as well, so you don't have to watch the same thing over and over again. So like here, I'm doing the same thing. I'm doing it a bit faster, but you can see more clearly what I'm talking about when I say do little circles or even of different sizes. So if you want to see a better picture of this, you can always check out my TikTok and my Instagram. The handles will be in the outro. You can check those out as well as in the description. So you can see how I'm making the little streaks. I'm just using a little ink towards the center and the outer outline, and then I'm just pulling forward so whatever ink is left on the pen just moves towards the center. You'll see when I do it again right now in a couple seconds. So you see how I'm just pulling so it's not too thick and not too thin, but it still gives that little shadowing that we want. And they don't overlap too much. They do a little bit, but not way too much, because if they overlap too much, then it'll make the center look a little blotchy. So we want it to look a little empty so that it looks like there's shading and shadowing. So right now I've just drawn a couple of bigger circles around so I don't make it too uneven. And I'm just filling it in with smaller circles and dots. So I don't know what this technique is called, but it's one of my favorites to show shadowing because it's very different, and it's not exactly the same as cross-hatching or actual shading, which I don't exactly enjoy, so you won't see that a lot in my work. You can see a lot of my other work on my page or in my playlist that I've made of my drawing and painting videos. I usually do a lot of abstract, but I do flowers once in a while, like this painting right here, drawing artwork right here. So right now you can just see me doing 2 at a time. I've increased the speed quite a bit so you don't have to watch the same thing over again, but I find it quite satisfying to see how the flowers are drawn, so I thought you might enjoy that as well. So I've kept it all in so you can see how the artwork is coming together, and I think it's really beautiful. It's one of my favorite non-abstract works that I've done so far. I usually do a lot more abstract because I've always enjoyed it, working with colors. So you can check that out on my page if you'd like to, as well as on my Instagram. I have a lot more there. So I'll tag everything in the description and in the outro if you'd like to check that out. Yeah, and now I'm just filling in the strokes one by one. I'm doing both the flowers at the same time so I don't have to move as much or move the paper. So that's it. That's the complete artwork. That's me. I'm just signing my name. I will add varnish onto this about now. And here's the final piece.